to your startup business plan. This is also applicable to your business. Every 3 to 6 months, you should be checking the health of your company by doing a SWOT analysis. What is a SWOT analysis? It's an overview of your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So, going over your personal brand, the strengths. The strengths are obvious things. Look for features that make you stand out. And once you realize what your features are that make you stand out, you should really try to excel on those. So if you're in the fitness space and you got ripped muscles, or you have amazing calves, or you can run really fast or dunk a ball really well, if that's your strength, you gotta go deep. You gotta go all in on that and really try to become the best dribbler or the best slam dunker or the best roller skater or the best at fitness, whatever it is that you're doing. When you find your strength, and a lot of times you already know what your strength is. If you do ballet, if you're the best real estate agent, or you think you're the best real estate agent, you want to study, learn, and become everything that you can to take your strength and really excel on it. On the flip side, you go to your weaknesses. It's really hard for you to improve your weakness once you hit 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old. Usually your weakness is going to be hard to change once it becomes a habit or it's part of you for so many decades. So if you're watching this at home and you're 44 years old and you've always been shy, can you get out of it and break out of that shell? You can. Is it learnable, a teachable skill? It is. But it's unlikely that you're going to all of a sudden become a social butterfly. So for the personal brand, if your weakness is mingling with people and intermixing with people at social events, usually you want to get a partner, a business partner, to go out there and do that part for you or with you to help you get acclimated. What does that mean? If at conventions you walk around and don't talk to anybody, there's not that much point for you to go to conventions for networking if you're not going to network. Think about that for a second. I took that pause so you can really think about that. If you're going to go to a convention or a live event or a charity event or a business event or a function that is meant for networking, but you're going to go hide on your phone in the corner, there's no point for you to be there besides taking a photo and leaving. You might as well take a photo when you get there and leave. If you're not good at networking, I would prefer you try to improve on this weakness if you can. If it's something improvable, like being shy, you can try to improve it. Otherwise, if you just know yourself and you're not going to fight it, which I prefer you do, if you're not going to fight it, go get a friend or a business partner or somebody to go with you to try to fight with that weakness. Or take the time, study everything about that weakness that makes you scared so you can battle through it, so you can fight through it. If your weakness is you're just not good at manufacturing stuff or fixing things in the house, then you shouldn't be doing that. If you have no idea how to do the electrical or the plumbing, hire a professional and have them deal with that. It's the same thing with your personal brand. If you know you're always going to wear white shoes every day and you think that's a weakness, you can figure out how to buy black shoes or colorful shoes or other shoes to try to fix that. If you're not good at styling yourself, you can hire a stylist or ask a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a fiance, a husband, a son, or anybody you think is cool or stylish. You could ask them for help. Some of your weaknesses are fixable. It doesn't have to be by you. It can be by the people around you or through your social media. You might just post on social media, hey, I have a really hard time picking out my shirts. Anybody recommend something? Anybody recommend a local store or a local website or a big website that can help me figure out how to get cooler shirts or cooler shoes or whatever it is that you feel is your weakness? Maybe you don't know what your weakness is. Maybe you have to find out the hard truth by sitting down with some of the people that you love, or listen to the people that you hate, because they're happy to tell you what your weakness is. A lot of times you'll see it in the comments. I prefer if you delete and block those people, because you don't have time for that. You shouldn't be listening to that stuff. But if it's to help you and improve you, then you should really take it into consideration. The weaknesses that you have are fixable, either within yourself by putting the time to study, learn, surround yourself with the right people, or fill that void, fill that weakness with somebody else that's a friend, a business partner, etc., to help you with that. Now, the strengths and the weaknesses, you have to be brutally honest with yourself. You can't sugarcoat these things. If you think your strength is that you're hugely buff and you're not, then that's not your strength. And you can't justify that just because you want to feel like you can lift 100 pounds when a true strength is some guy can lift 400 pounds or some girl can lift 300 pounds or 500 pounds, whatever. If somebody else can lift 3 or 4 or 5 times more than you, is that still a strength? No, it's a feature. It's cool that you can do it, that you can lift that 100 pounds. But if it's not something that's a wow factor for social media, then you have to think about it on how you can improve it. How can you improve it? You start working out even harder so you can start lifting 150 and then 200 and 250 and finally until you can lift 300 like those people that are, oh my God, that's their strength. These things are fixable. The strengths and weaknesses are very, very, very important for you to be brutally honest. The weaknesses are hard for people. A lot of times it's hard to admit if you suck at something, or you're not good at it, or you're just bad, or you don't want to do it. If you're lazy, and that's your weakness, and you've been lazy for the last 39 years, you're probably still going to be lazy when you're 44. Can I tell you to get out of it and snap out of it? Yeah. I can yell at you, Gary Vee can yell at you, Andy Frisella can yell at you, and you can watch inspirational videos. But if you don't make the change, that will stay your weakness. So if your weakness is laziness, how are you going to build your personal brand if you're just lazy? It doesn't make any sense. The things that you can do to fix your strengths and your weaknesses, maximizing your strengths, and not worrying as much about your weaknesses unless they're fixable and you're actually going to put in the work to bring it up. Does it have to go from weakness all the way to strength? Not always. If you go from weakness to just average, that's probably a big deal. If you go from lazy, like sleeping until 11 in the morning or noon every day, to just start getting up at 9 a.m., maybe you're not like overzealous getting up at 7, but if you start getting up at 9 compared to 11 or 12, well, if you start being up 2 or 3 hours earlier, times 365, that you just added 700 to 1,000 hours a year to your life of productivity. Just by taking your normal weakness of wanting to be in bed till 11 or 12 each day and going to 9, you added 700 to 1,000 hours to your life. You literally added 25 to 40 days or something crazy. Yeah, 40 days to your life just by adding another 2 or 3 hours a day of productivity. So look at your strengths, look at your weaknesses, really write these things down. This isn't meant to just be a quick exercise. Like, you sincerely write down your strengths and go all the way down the list. And you might want to show somebody. See their reaction. Do they giggle at you like, you're not that strong, or you can't cook that well, or you can't do this? Maybe you need to hear it. This isn't all meant to be rah, rah, rah. Like, if you are not the best cook, or if you think you're an amazing painter or amazing piano player, and when you post about it, people aren't reacting, well, it might be the truth setting in. And that's hard for a lot of people to think about or talk about. But if you're a poker player and you're consistently losing, but you think you're the best poker player, you're just unlucky over and over and over for months and months, maybe you're just not as good as you think, and that's curable. If you start studying poker nonstop and read all the books and watch all the websites and start learning all the things on TV shows and start really researching everything, and you become an average player or a winning player, now you've taken your weakness that you thought was a strength, because a lot of people think that they're good at poker, for example, and they go for months of losing $1,200, $1,500, $800, $2,000 each month, but they think that they're just getting unlucky. When in actuality, while they think they're a strong player, they're actually not, because they're not true to themselves. You have to be true to yourself. You have to put in the work to study so that you can become better while you're building your personal brand. Now, opportunities. The opportunities are all around you. They're on your computer, they're on your mobile phone, and they're outside your door. The opportunities are in your mind and in your feet. If you think about something and then you go do it, you're already steps ahead of most people. Because most of the time people think about something, what's called a wantrepreneur, but then they don't go do it. If you think about something like, I want to go to a real estate event, or I want to throw a fitness event, or I want to throw a cooking event, or I want to go to a cooking event. You taking those steps and looking at the opportunity and creating it for yourself by going to the cooking events, going to the real estate event, going to the fitness event, filming the content on your phone, getting the photos, meeting the speakers, meeting the organizer, meeting the people there, getting their cards, getting their phone numbers. You going out and doing that is elevating your personal brand. Then, after you leave that Sunday night where you spent at the real estate event or the cooking event or the fitness event or whatever, then on Monday, you post the photos and videos from that Sunday. And you tag the people that you met, and you tag the people that you looked up to, and you start interacting with them. Then on Tuesday, you post another photo or video from that Sunday event. And you tag the people, and you interact with people, and now all of a sudden that Sunday night of 3 hours became 3 days of content because you posted live from that event. You posted on your Instagram stories, you tweeted from there, you did a Facebook Live possibly. You mentioned it on all of your different platforms from that real estate event or that fashion event or that cooking event. You've now created so much content, live posts on Instagram stories especially. The next morning, you contacted the people there after you tagged them, you interacted with them, they're probably going to contact you. And you know what made you stand out? You took the photos and videos and you posted about on social media and you tagged those people. You're already standing out. There was 200 people at that real estate event, or there was 100 people at that fashion event or that fitness event. There was 53 people there at the cooking event. But you took the pictures, you took the videos, you tagged the people, you text messaged it to the people that you wanted. It's another great trick. If you take a photo with the speaker at the business event or at the real estate event, or you take a photo or video with the chef at the cooking event and you look up to that chef, you ask for their phone number or their email or their social media. Now you have a prime excuse to send them that video or photo. It's an old trick. A lot of guys and girls use that at the bars. They would take a photo with somebody or a photo for a group of people and ask for their phone number so they could text it to them. And now they have their phone number. The same applies to business. The same way that girls and boys use it out in public for bars or to interact with each other, the same way applies for business. If you take a photo or video of a chef in front of their brand, and then you take it with them and say, hey, I'll text you the photos or I'll email you the photos, you now have their contact information. You provided value. You did something fun with them or fun for them. You sent them the content the next day. You posted the content, you tagged them. They might get some followers, who knows? Whether you have 1,000 followers or 10,000 or 100,000, they may gain some following. Your engagement, you're tagging people, commenting with people about them and their events. The event organizer's so happy because you posted about it. You do it again on Tuesday. And maybe in a week or so, you do it again as a throwback Thursday, the following week. And all of a sudden, you have 3 or 4 pieces of content, you have live things, all from a couple-hour event because you thought about it and you used your feet and you went. So the opportunities are all around you. You have to just take action to build your personal brand. On social media, by you posting all of that content, you've edified yourself, you made yourself look active and cool, fun to be around. You go to live events, whether it's real estate, fitness, cooking, whatever it is that you went to, fashion, whatever. It shows that you're out there moving and shaking, and now other people in your industry are like, oh, I want to go with that person. I want to go to that event. That looked like fun. I want to meet that chef or hear that real estate speaker. You're putting yourself in a situation to look like you're in the mix because you are in the mix because you thought about something, you got your feet, and you went for it. Threats. The threats are all around you. The threats are your competitors, but the threats are mostly yourself. What do I mean by that? The industry can always change. Competitors can always become more aggressive or bigger or better or get more funding. But the true threat in all of this when building a personal brand is the person that's building the brand. The threat is you becoming complacent, you becoming lazy. You thought of the idea when you had the opportunity to go to that event Sunday night, and you didn't because you got lazy or complacent. Or you went to that event and you stood in the corner on your phone and you didn't get any phone numbers, you didn't take any photos or video, you didn't interact with anybody, and then Monday morning you posted nothing because you took no content. So you tagged no people, you got no phone numbers, you did nothing because of you. You're the threat. You are your own threat. And I'm telling you, and the whole point of this video course is to show you that personal branding is supposed to fit into your daily life. It makes it more fun and exciting to create content, and you may not have gone to that Sunday night event, and you may have stayed home and just watched Ozark or Narcos on Netflix and just watched these shows because you just wanted to stay home and watch TV shows instead of elevating your brand. And is it fun to watch those shows on Netflix? Sure. But you can watch that show at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock or midnight later on that night. But going to that event from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. can elevate your brand. So I'm asking you, think about your strengths. Don't focus too much on your weaknesses unless you can fix them. Otherwise, go harder on your strengths and minimize your weaknesses. Look for the opportunities, take actions on the opportunities. Don't become complacent. And look at the threats, but look at the threats that's mostly yourself.